7 of the most common downsizing mistakes. That's what this video is about. Downsizing your home can be one of the most exciting, but also one of the most stressful times in your life. But when it's done right, it can make it possible for you to live the life you've always dreamed of. Whether you're selling your home so you can move closer to your family, or so you can save money to travel, or just to have an easier lifestyle, downsizing can be wonderful, a wonderful change in your life that's completely worth the hassle. But downsizing doesn't have to be so overwhelming if you know which major mistakes to avoid. That's why I'm going to tell you 7 of the most common downsizing mistakes people make and what to do instead so that you can be better prepared to get a great start on the next phase of your life. Number 1, waiting too long to downsize. One of the biggest mistakes people make when downsizing is waiting too long. Oftentimes, people put it off until they become ill or a spouse dies, so then they have to downsize while they're in poor health or when they are grieving, which is far from ideal. Or some people wait too long until it becomes too difficult physically without someone else to help pack or lift or carry boxes, though I do know someone who can help. Great network. And for some, the longer they wait, the harder it becomes to let go of any items from their home where they raised a family and have so many memories. Or it just becomes harder to leave their home at all, and staying there can eventually become a deterrent to their financial, emotional, or even physical health. While it's important not to rush when downsizing and to take the time to emotionally prepare yourself for moving, you don't want to keep putting it off until it's too late. And it's helpful to have a plan of where you'll begin the process. So how do you know when it's the right time to downsize? I answer this in my video, 10 signs it's time to downsize your home. So you can check it out later. Number 2, downsizing without a master plan. Co-founder and Chief Development Officer of Real Estate Marketplace, Everything But the House, says that we should actually plan ahead to downsize so that it is a lifestyle choice. Don't mistake this, however, for rushing the process. I suggest giving yourself up to 6 months to prepare for your move, and having a master plan is a must in order to be prepared. A big mistake people make when downsizing is not having a master plan, which can leave them aimless, scattered, and more likely to put it off too long. You'll want to ask yourself why you're wanting to downsize. Are you wanting to save money to travel? Or do you want a home that's easier to manage as you get older? I know I do. Or do you want to move near family or to your dream location? You'll also want to ask yourself what you want the results of your move to be. What's your ideal result? Is it so you can be happier or you have less stress in your life? Or is it so that you can manage your finances or home with ease? If you know your end result, then you can begin planning the steps to get there, which will result in fewer mistakes in the process. Number 3, failing to move somewhere that fits your needs or your lifestyle. So maybe you have a plan of the type of home that suits your needs and is in your desired location, but does this location fit your current lifestyle? For example, let's say you decide to move to a townhome in the suburbs that's close to your kids and grandkids. But maybe this home and location doesn't provide easy access to shopping, clinics, pharmacies, restaurants, or social events that you're used to going to frequently. Then maybe a small city apartment near the bus stop or metro station would be more ideal. Or maybe you want to have a yard or a dog, or so that you can have a vegetable or herb garden and backyard barbecues. In that case, maybe the small apartment in the city isn't ideal for you. The point is, you need to take your lifestyle into account when considering your new home and location. Think about what you want from your daily life. What will it look like? What lifestyle activities, home features, or places that you frequent are important to have in your life? And what do you need to be happy? You might even want to make a list of these things and present them to your buyer agent so she can help you find a home that fits these needs. Things to be put on the list might be, for example, yard space, parking space, access to transportation, sidewalks, parks, recreation centers, and close to shopping. Maybe you want a first floor apartment or a place that has a sense of community. Add these things to your list so you can find the perfect home that suits your needs. Number 4, whole house sorting and packing. A mistake many people make that can cause a lot of undue stress is trying to tackle sorting through and packing the whole house at the same time. Downsizing alone is stressful, so having the whole house a mess because you're trying to sort through the clutter in all the rooms makes things more stressful and unorganized. I suggest working in one room at a time. Maybe you can start with the least used room, like the spare room or the dining room. Then work from there and save your most used rooms for last, like the kitchen or bathrooms. It might be tempting to work on 2 or 3 rooms at the same time, but trust me, to take it one room at a time, it will make things much easier for you. Remember that it took decades to accumulate everything, so it will take more than a few weeks to sort through it all. And remember to take breaks when you need to. If you do nothing but sort through your things all the time and decide on what to keep and what to toss, it can be emotionally draining. So you might want to plan the sorting in stages and even plan times of day for sorting so you can be sure to take those much needed breaks, like maybe every morning you do it or 2 hours after work. This is why it's best not to procrastinate your sorting and packing, but to get started ahead of time. Number 5, getting rid of it. Getting rid of it all. When some people downsize, they toss or give away most of their belongings. But just because you're downsizing doesn't mean you have to get rid of everything. Having to replace later what you got rid of won't help you in the long run, but might help you get. Number 5, getting rid of it all of it. When some people downsize, they toss or give away most of their belongings. But just because you're downsizing doesn't mean you have to get rid of everything. Having to replace later what you got rid of won't help you in the long run, but might just make things more stressful. When you're trying to decide what to get rid of, ask yourself if it will fit into your new lifestyle. If it does, hang on to it. If you're not sure, you can always keep it for now and change your mind later. And if it has sentimental value, you might want to hang on to it. The key is not to just purge everything, because later you might regret getting rid of some things, or replacing those things might be expensive. Another question to ask when deciding what to toss is, have you used that item in the past year? I always do the same thing with my closets. Did you wear the sweater last fall or winter? Have you used the food processor? No. Do you really need 3 baking dishes? No. Or what big vase you never use? If you haven't used or needed an item in the last 12 months, toss it or give it to someone who can use it. Or you can donate it to charity. That's what I do. Number 6, moving all your furniture. Ooh, maybe you've had a hard time letting go of any of your furniture. After all, it was an investment, it's comfortable, it matches your decor, and some of it has sentimental value. But when you try to move it all into a much smaller home, the fact is that it's not going to fit. Or at least it won't fit comfortably and could make your space crowded. So how do you know how much furniture to keep? Before you decide, measure each room in your new home. Then measure the furniture pieces you want to take, and make sure they fit in the rooms you want to be in. You can also try a virtual room online tool that will help you see how your furniture will look and fit in your new home. And you could also ask yourself the same question I mentioned in my last point. Have you used that furniture in the last 12 months? How much do you use it? Is that armchair that sits in the corner but no one ever sat in it really necessary? It's always best to leave unnecessary pieces behind. But I want to add, sometimes the new home that you're going to isn't ready, or you haven't found it. So get a storage unit, put those pieces in there, and then see if they'll fit once you find the right home. Because you don't want to throw away something that you might be able to use or had sentimental value to you. Storage units aren't that expensive. Put a time limit, 30 days, I'll have it figured out. Or 3 months, because it'll take you a month to find a house, a month to close, then a month to figure out if it'll all fit in. Be smart. Get rid of the stuff you don't use. Keep the stuff you need, even temporarily, until you you are in a position to make a decision. That kind of rhymes. Number 7, rushing the process. While you don't want to wait too long to start the downsizing process, you also don't want to rush it. Although you definitely want to keep some items with sentimental value, you might find that it's necessary to part with a few of them. So instead of throwing them away, think about where you can donate them or who you could give them to. If you can give them to someone who needs and appreciates them, that will make parting with them so much easier. Also, it's always better to take your time in finding the best home for you that will meet your needs and match your lifestyle. Don't just sign a lease on the first home you see, but continue to research and look for available options and see how each place you consider lines up with the master plan. Now that you know these 7 common downsizing mistakes, I hope you'll be better prepared for your downsizing journey. As long as you remember not to wait too long to begin the process and have a master plan, Move somewhere that fits your current lifestyle. Sort through one room at a time. Know which items and furniture to keep and toss or give away, and don't rush the process. Your downsizing experience will be much easier and more rewarding. I specialize in downsizing, so I'd love to work with you and help you find the perfect home and location that fits your new journey. This should be an exciting time in your life, so I want to help you make this journey as smooth and as easy as possible for you.